Have you ever wondered if the price of XRP is more than just market speculation? What if I told you that its value might have been predetermined, set at a very high level by some of the most powerful institutions in the world? Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating theory championed by macro expert Dr. Jim Willie, a perspective that could completely change how you see XRP. This isn't your typical crypto price prediction. This is about a grander design, a strategic placement for a very specific purpose. First, let's address the core idea, a preset price. This concept challenges everything we think we know about supply and demand in the crypto market. The theory suggests that XRP's ultimate value isn't something to be discovered through frantic trading, but rather a number that was calculated and chosen long ago. Why? To fulfill a specific role in the global financial system. Think about it. If you were building a new system for moving trillions of dollars between countries and major banks, you couldn't leave its core settlement asset to the whims of a volatile market. You'd need stability, predictability, and a value high enough to handle immense transaction volumes without causing massive price fluctuations. Imagine trying to settle a billion-dollar international trade with an asset worth only a few cents. The sheer number of units required would be astronomical, and even a tiny shift in price could result in millions of dollars in discrepancies. A high, stable price is not just a desirable feature, it's a fundamental requirement for the job XRP is allegedly designed to do. So, what is that job? According to Dr. Willie, XRP isn't racing against the banks to replace them. It's not a competitor in the way many people think. Instead, it's quietly being positioned to become the engine inside the banking system, the tool that does the heavy lifting behind the scenes. This brings us to our next point: why timing is so crucial. The implementation of a system like this can't happen overnight. It's a slow, deliberate process. The financial world is a massive, intricate machine, and you can't just swap out a major component while it's running at full speed. This transition has to be managed carefully, with all the necessary infrastructure and legal frameworks put in place first. This is why we've seen years of development, partnerships, and even legal battles. It's all part of the preparation, the slow and steady positioning of all the pieces on the chessboard. The price can't be switched on to its preset level until everything is ready. Doing so too early would cause chaos and disrupt the very system it's meant to improve. The delay isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign of a meticulous, large-scale plan unfolding exactly as intended. Dr. Jim Willie's analysis provides a powerful lens through which to view these events. He argues that XRP's purpose is not to be a retail coin for everyday purchases, but a utility tool for the financial elite. It's a replacement for the old, clunky systems like SWIFT that banks have used for decades to move money between themselves. These legacy systems are slow, expensive, and prone to errors. They represent a technology from the 1970s trying to operate in a 21st century global economy. It's simply not sustainable. The world needs a better way to handle cross-border payments and interbank settlements, a way that is instantaneous, cheap, and reliable. XRP, with its RippleNet technology, was designed from the ground up to solve this exact problem. It's not about competing with Bitcoin as a store of value or with Ethereum for smart contracts. Its focus is singular and incredibly ambitious: to become the backbone of international finance. The powerful institutions, central banks, major commercial banks, and global regulatory bodies aren't fighting XRP. According to this theory, they are its intended users, its biggest stakeholders. They have been quietly preparing for this transition, testing the technology, and integrating it into their future plans. This leads us to reevaluate what XRP truly is. It's less of a coin and more of a tool. When you think of a coin, you think of something you trade, you hope goes up in value, and maybe you use to buy a coffee. When you think of a tool, you think of something with a specific function, designed to perform a task efficiently. A hammer isn't valuable because people speculate on its price. It's valuable because it can build a house. Similarly, XRP's value, in this context, comes from its utility in settling trillions of dollars in transactions. Its price doesn't need to moon in the traditional crypto sense. It just needs to be set at the correct high level to perform its function. How high? The numbers proposed are staggering, often in the thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars per XRP. This isn't based on hype, but on mathematical necessity. To back the sheer volume of global liquidity and international trade, which is measured in the quadrillions of dollars, the settlement asset must have a proportionally high value. A small supply of XRP, just 100 billion units, requires a very high price per unit to cover the value flowing through the world's financial arteries. So, if this is all true, what does it mean for the average XRP holder? It means that the day-to-day price charts might be little more than noise, a distraction from the real story unfolding in the background. The game isn't about short-term gains, but about a long-term, fundamental shift in the global financial plumbing. The legal clarity sought in cases like the one with the SEC wasn't just a random lawsuit, it was a necessary step to define XRP's role and clear the way for its official adoption by regulated financial institutions. Without that legal and regulatory green light, banks simply cannot use it at scale. This perspective also explains the patience of many long-term holders. They aren't just betting on a cryptocurrency. They are investing in a piece of future financial infrastructure. They understand that the value isn't derived from retail excitement, but from institutional adoption. It's a different kind of investment, one based on a macro-level thesis about the evolution of money itself. The theory suggests we are on the cusp of this transition. As the old systems continue to show their age and strain under the pressure of a digitized world, the need for the new system becomes more urgent every day. When the time is right, when all the regulatory pieces are in place and the institutional partners are ready to go live, the switch could be flipped. At that moment, the price of XRP would no longer be determined by speculative markets, but would snap to its predetermined functional value. It would be a paradigm shift, an event that redefines not only the value of XRP, but the entire landscape of digital assets. Of course, this is a theory, a powerful and compelling one, but it requires us to look beyond the daily charts and connect the dots on a global scale. It asks us to see XRP not as just another crypto, but as a key component in a meticulously planned financial revolution. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into one of the most intriguing theories in the crypto space. It's a lot to think about, and it certainly puts the long journey of XRP into a new light. What are your thoughts? Do you believe in the preset price theory? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this perspective interesting, please hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more content that challenges the way you see the world of finance and crypto. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.